If you are a woman experiencing perimenopause or menopause symptoms, such as hot flashes, mood swings, weight gain, vaginal dryness, loss of sex drive, headaches, and many other possible annoying symptoms, you clicked on the right video. Hi, I'm Dr. Cori Stern, and welcome to my channel, Take Control of Your Health. If you have not yet had a chance to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button now, as that is my reward for putting out this important information. And if the content of the video helps you, please hit the like button so more people can find it. And last and most importantly, please share this with anyone you know that you think would benefit from the information. So let's talk about what perimenopause and menopause is. Well, I can tell you what it's not. It's not a disease. It is a normal part of the female hormonal cycle. And the good news is you don't have to suffer through it. You don't have to have a bad experience. So don't assume that it's going to be bad for you. And if it is bad for you now, there's lots of things that we can do to help you with it naturally. So what happens during menopause is that your hormones begin to drop, your female hormones such as estrogen and progesterone and FSH, which is follicular stimulating hormone, and we'll talk about why they start to drop. Now, they generally start to decline in your early to mid 40s. Some women, it starts earlier and some later. If you've had a history of irregular menstrual cycles or conditions like polycystic ovarian syndrome, you may experience an earlier onset of a reduction of these symptoms. So what's actually happening here is that your follicles, your eggs, your ova, the stuff that you're actually born with, all of the eggs that you're ever going to have. And then every month during your fertility time, your ovaries secrete an egg, an ova, or what's known as a follicle, and to get it ready for being fertilized. And all of the hormones that I mentioned, the estrogen, progesterone, and FSH, play a role in that process in preparing the ovaries and the secretion of the ovum and the whole process that occurs if it does become fertilized. But as you run out of these follicles, well, the hormones don't have a very big job to do anymore, and so they start to decline, and you will feel different. You will have changes in your body. So a lot of women experience these undesirable symptoms that I mentioned earlier. The most common ones are hot flashes and mood swings. Some people have sleep disruption, and very often because they are sweating at night, what we call the night sweats, and headaches, lightheadedness, brain fog is one of the complaints that we hear, the decreased sex drive. Some people have urinary leakage. So the loss of sex drive is due to both a reduction in the hormones that stimulate your interest in procreating, which you can now no longer do, and also many women end up with vaginal dryness or something called vaginal atrophy. And vaginal atrophy is when the walls, the vaginal walls start to thin and they become more delicate. And this is due to lower estrogen levels. And when that happens, some women experience pain during sex, even just pain walking around. So if sex hurts, you're going to lose interest in it, right? So that can contribute to the loss of the sex drive. Now, there are some women that have no symptoms at all. I have plenty of patients that have never had a hot flash or mood swings or don't have any vaginal dryness years postmenopausally. And then I have some patients that just have one symptom. And then I have a lot of patients that have all the symptoms that we mentioned. And then along with that comes some depression because they don't feel well and their body is changing in a way that they just don't like. So I will share my own experience with menopause. I started to see changes in my cycle in my mid-40s, and my very last menstrual cycle was 3 months before my 50th birthday. And I did have some hot flashes, which occurred, especially if I had alcohol. If I drank some wine with dinner, I would have a hot flash that night. Aside from that, I didn't notice any other changes really for about 6 years. Then at age 56, I started to feel vaginal discomfort and realized at some point I had severe dryness, and it was very uncomfortable all the time, and sex was painful. But I'm going to share with you what I did to turn it around naturally, and hopefully my experience and what I did will also help you. We'll talk about that at the end. So before we talk about natural remedies, let's talk about some of the basic things that everyone needs to do in order to reduce the probability that you're going to be symptomatic and have undesirable symptoms during this part of your life. And the basics are the same for any health condition. Basically, it's the basics for maintaining a healthy body. So number one, eat a clean, nutrient-dense diet. Nutritional deficiencies will make perimenopause and menopause much worse. One of the important nutrients that you need for healthy hormones is good quality fat. So I have a great video on this topic. The video, the title of it is about pregnancy. However, it applies to just hormones in general. So I would highly recommend that. I'll put the link to that video in the description of this one. But it's really important to eat good quality fat. And in that video, we talk about what exactly that means, because there's so much confusion and misinformation about fat. By the way, I just want to mention that some people email me and tell me they don't know how to find the links that I mentioned. I put the links to videos, I put the links to supplements. So in the underneath the video, there's description and there's a down arrow. It's a drop down arrow. And if you click that, you'll see everything that I have there. Number two, it's also really important to stay hydrated. So you're going to be at more risk for vaginal dryness if you're dehydrated chronically. I can't believe how many people just don't drink enough water, and symptoms of dehydration can range from headaches to muscle pain to rapid heartbeat to anxiety to dry skin, dry hair, dry eyes, vaginal dryness. Your body is 80% water. So if you have to keep yourself watered like a plant, or you'll dry up just like a plant would dry up if you don't water it. So please check out my water video so you know what is the best kind of water to drink and what is most hydrating. I'll also put a link to that video in the description of this one. Number three, exercise is also really important to combat some of the changes that your body goes through during this time. So with a drop in estrogen, you can lose bone density. So exercise will help you to maintain your bone density, and you can also lose muscle mass for the same reason and start gaining more fat. And then you can end up also with some heart issues. Estrogen is heart protective. So if you have less estrogen, your heart needs a little more attention. So doing any type of physical activity at all will be helpful. I don't care, you don't have to go to the gym every day and work out like a maniac. You could just go for walks, you could swim, you could do yoga in your living room, but do some kind of movement. Most people just sit too much, and if your job requires sitting, consider getting a standing desk and taking breaks and walking around. And then after you're done working, go for a walk. If you're doing sedentary activities after work, like watching TV or sitting around, doing something on your phone or computer, at least try to keep moving while you're doing it. You could do some stretches, you can, do small movements so that you're not just sitting. It's really bad for you. Number 4, sleep. Sleep is one of the basics. You do most of your healing in your sleep, and as you age, you start to produce less of another hormone called human growth hormone. That applies to men and women. And human growth hormone helps to repair your body. It helps to repair all the micro damage that everybody, acquires in the course of a day. So you could say that sleeping is an anti-aging activity, and you need to get enough of it to feel well. And number 5, find a way to handle your stress. Stress will just make the whole menopause experience so much worse. And then you get into you don't feel well, and that's stressing you, and that makes you feel worse kind of cycle. So, you can't avoid stress. You just have to come up with some type of system for handling it better. Everybody needs to do this, no matter whether you're a man or a woman, or you're younger or older. It's one of the biggest problems I see walking through my clinic door. Not handling stress well can literally lead to an early death. So find something that works for you, whether it's meditation or listening to a certain frequency of music that calms you down, or playing solitaire, something. Make it a point to find a way to relax every single day. All right, now I want to share with you some of my remedies, my natural remedies for preventing and or managing perimenopause and menopause symptoms. Just before I do that, I want to talk to you about locating the best quality, nutrient-dense food near you. So because that was our number one activity, was eating good quality food. So if you are somebody that understands the vital role that food plays in your health, then there's good news, because there's a website where you can actually get matched to a small scale family farm that grows and sells super high quality, clean, nutrient dense foods in your area, anywhere in the US. So just click on the link. It's in the description of the video, www.farmmatch.com/Dr. Cori, and put in your zip code to be matched with a farm near you. Some farms have pickup locations, some farms deliver to your door. If you're in what we call a food desert and there's actually no farms around you, Farm Match will find you a farm that will ship to your house. So I get almost all my food from one of these farms, and it's been a game changer. And it's the best way to change the world, by voting with your food dollars. If you're not in the US, I'm going to put a link in the description for a site where you can actually find something similar near you. There's many resources for anywhere in the world on this site. So now let's talk about what I did and what helped me with my symptoms, and how I got through this period of time pretty unscathed, and what I do to help my patients. So I'm going to do a screen share with you, and show you some of these supplements that I used. So the first one of my favorites, is called Wild Yam Complex, and it is specifically for menopause and perimenopause symptoms that you might be experiencing. It helps also with low sex drive, and it's also good for menstrual cramps. So if you're still menstruating and you're having severe cramps, this can also be helpful. Wild yam is what we call an estrogen modulator. So it helps to balance your estrogen levels. And there's other herbs in it as well. There's one called shatavari, which is a sexual tonic. There is St. John's wort, which helps to improve your serotonin production. That's your feeling good hormone. And black cohosh, again, this is also an estrogen modulator, so it helps to balance your estrogen levels. It's also good for your uterus health. And lastly, it has two more things. It also has sage leaf, which helps with excessive sweating. And lastly, it has Korean ginseng. It's ginseng, which is an adaptogen, meaning it helps your body adapt to stress. And it's a tonic, so it helps support your energy. It helps with fatigue. So I love wild yam. I use it a lot, and I took it when I was having menopause just to protect myself. The next supplement I want to go over is called Evening Primrose Oil. And that is an essential fatty acid. So it's a form of fat that's really good for you, known as GLA or gamma linolenic acid. And this is really good for dry skin. So you're moisturizing from the inside out. And it's also great for dry eyes, which can also happen in menopause. And this GLA is anti-inflammatory and supports your metabolism. So there's some evidence to suggest that it can help you to not gain weight. Next, I want to talk a little bit about bone health, because as I mentioned earlier, one of the effects of menopause is that you may lose some bone density, and the importance of exercise and maintaining your bone density and eating healthy foods is very important. And also, please remember that bones are not only made out of calcium. A lot of people don't understand that. They're mostly made out of collagen. Bones are mostly collagen, which is a protein. And then the bones have minerals in them, like calcium, as well as other minerals. But you have to be sure that you're getting enough collagen to maintain healthy bones as well. So I have a video on collagen where I explain how it works, and I will put a link to that video in the description of this one as well. But for the calcium, you need to have really good quality calcium that you absorb. And calcium, all minerals are transported by fat. So you need to eat good fat in order to maintain healthy bones. I have a video on milk. It's about raw milk that actually talks about how the fat in the milk and the calcium in the milk and the protein in the milk can actually not only help you to maintain healthy bones, but also to even reverse bone loss, also called osteopenia in early stages and osteoporosis in late stages. But I want to talk to you about one of my favorite supplements for bone health, and that's called Calcifood. Calcifood contains raw veal bone, so you're actually eating bone. It's a way of eating bone when you take the supplement. This one is a wafer, and in my opinion, it tastes good. I think it tastes like a cookie. Not everybody agrees with me. Some people tell me they don't like it, which I don't understand, but it is one of my favorite supplements for improving your calcium, but specifically for bone health. And then the next one that I want to talk about is another form of calcium called calcium lactate. So I've talked about this in other videos. Calcium lactate has a lot of applications. One of them is bone health, but it also reduces body temperature. So it is really good for hot flashes. And I did take this, well, I actually still take it, but I took this when I was going through menopause, and for the few hot flashes I had, it really helped me. It's also a fever reducer, right? So because it reduces body temperature, and it's good immune support too. So it just serves so many different purposes. And it's really, really inexpensive. So I strongly recommend this type of calcium for just about everyone. And then the last thing I want to talk about is not a standard process supplement. It is a cream called Julva. And I wanted to show it to you, and I forgot to bring it into the room I do my videos in, so I'm just going to talk about it. This is how I solved my vaginal dryness and atrophy issue. It's a cream that you topically apply to the vulval area, and it literally restores the integrity of the tissue. It fixes the dryness. It increases your sex drive. And I am so grateful that I found this, because I was dead set against taking any pharmaceuticals or doing any hormones or anything like that. And I didn't have to. And now I have a normal, healthy functioning. So it contains some natural oils like coconut oil, emu oil, shea butter, and vitamin E, and alpine rose stem cells, which are shown to improve skin vitality and slows down the aging of the skin tissue. And the active ingredient in it is called DHEA, which is a androgen. It's a hormone precursor. It helps you to produce more estrogen. So I've had many, many patients use this product with great results. It can even help you stop bladder leakage if you have that. And I highly endorse it. I have a link for you to order this product. It's going to be, again, on the description of the video. I can't say the link because it's like too many weird letters and numbers. So you have to do the drop down box and look at the description for the link. So the cream is applied externally. You do it every day in the beginning for a while until you're doing better, and then you can do it less frequently. It's recommended for maintenance that you do it 5 times a week. I just can't tell you how valuable this find has been for me. It was developed by a female gynecologist, by the way. So yeah, so you can click on the link to order it. You can also read more about it. It'll take you to the website. If you're really suffering and you're really struggling and you need more specific help with your symptoms, I am available for virtual consults. You can go to my website, drcori.com. It's going to be linked in the description of the video, and just click on request a consult, and my assistant will reach out to you to get you scheduled. I can also answer some general questions at drcori.com. My name is spelled C-O-R-I, by the way, so Dr. D-R-C-O-R-I. Please realize I can't give specific advice unless I evaluate you specifically, but I can certainly answer general questions for you about your symptoms or the supplements. Once again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it now. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button too if you like the video. And again, most importantly, please share this with anyone you know that you think it will help. And I thank you so much for listening. And until we meet again, please stay well.